What up, everyone? So we've got 4 more boxes, I think, in the month of November, which is good because the boxes of December should be coming any minute now, literally any day now. So we're going to pump through these reviews and try to get back on track. So in the meantime, we've got Horror Block here, one that I tried out last month that I think I'll keep around for at least a couple months to get a good idea of it. One that people wanted reviewed for a very long time, so I'll give it a couple of months to give people a good idea of what to expect in this box. So this is the second month I've got it, so let's take a look at what we got. Oh, puppy's getting excited. Chill out. Alright, let's see what we got. First, obviously we got a shirt. No surprise there. Pup, you get out of the way. Let's take a look at what we got. Obviously from Shirt Punch. Again, no surprise. Alrighty. Alrighty. So, this is obviously of Dracula. Not the original Dracula, but one of the early Draculas, I'm assuming. So yeah, that's a nice shirt. It's always the Gildan one, so this one's the soft style. So it's pretty decent on quality-wise. It's not super or anything like that, but you know, I like that it's pretty simple. I like that they don't go too crazy with the horror styles here, and I like that they keep most of it pretty classic. So even people that aren't like crazy horror fanatics, like still kind of get it and still see the character and still understand it. There's not some like joke that only like real horror fans would know there. So I think that's very nice, and I think most people like that. I'll give that a 7 out of 10. I like that they kept it simple, and honestly, I think pretty much anyone could wear that shirt and not look weird. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Alrighty, so there's our shirt. Next, seems like we have a massive item in here. I remember them saying that we had a Sharknado item, and this is it. So it looks like we've got a giant Sharknado bobblehead. Alright, let's take a close-up at this. Get the camera to focus. Yeah, this is pretty huge. So, I have not checked out Sharknado yet. It's been on my list. I got the DVD and everything, and it looks super awesome, but I've been waiting for my friend to watch it, and we just can never seem to get together. And I know they're on their 3rd one now, so I've been meaning to watch because it looks so awesome. I legitimately want to see it. And this looks really cool. This is a cool bobblehead. So, he's got some blood spatters on his face. He's got a chainsaw. And you can see down there, he's standing on a shark head. And it says Sharknado on there. And this has got some good size to it. This took up a lot of room in the box. So this is actually really good quality. I can't remember if they said if it was specific to Nerd Block or not. Or Horror Block. It doesn't seem like it is. But yeah, the quality on it is quite nice. Good sculpt. Good paint job. Yeah, it's like a really nice item. This looks like it would fetch a pretty penny, especially based on the size. So that's really cool. I really like that. I think Sharknado looks awesome, and I think it's really picked up like a really large following. So I say good choice on that. Let's see what else we got. Stop. Hey, shush. We got another bobblehead. So this is from the Twilight Zone. So this is a company we've seen before. This company called Springs. They're always exclusive ones to Nerd Block. I'm sure this one is too, or Horror Block, I mean. It doesn't say exclusive, but I'm sure it is. I'm pretty sure the Nerd Block company has a partnership with this company, Springs. We saw in the arcade block, we got the Bobble Chicken, and I think it was like the Sci-Fi block or something like that. We got the Enterprise, and now we got one of the characters from the Twilight Zone. And it's just a little... Basically, this company just puts things on a spring. So, like I said before, I don't see this company taking off. I'm glad they have a partnership with the Nerd Block company, but I'm not a big fan of their items. They're okay. The sculpt is decent. The paint job is meh. But basically, they just take things and put it on a spring, which is like, okay, like things are on a spring now, but like, who the fuck cares? Like, why is it on a spring? So it's not quite a bobblehead. This one is because it's literally a head on there, but this company just doesn't really. You know, it doesn't really blow me away by their products just by literally putting things on springs. I don't think that's something that's sought after. I don't think most people like bobbleheads per se. I think they're okay every once in a while, but I think most people would prefer stationary figures over bobbleheads. So this whole Springs Corporation, I really don't see them taking off. And I've seen the resale market on most of these, and it's very low. I don't think anyone really wants them. So we got a Springs figure. And it's okay. It's not bad or anything, but you know, it's not really amazing either. Alright, next. I'm not sure what this is. Chill out. So this looks like, I guess this is just like a towel then? It's just like a blood spattered towel. It's very soft, and it's got kind of a towel feel to it, so I guess it's like a towel or a washcloth. Like, that's cool. Got a little blood spatter towel slash washcloth. I can use that when I'm going to the gym to wipe my sweaty face off. That works. I'm not sure there's more use to it. I'll have to look on the card and see what it says. Alright, moving on. We got what looks like an autograph from Addie Miller, the teddy bear girl. I'm trying to think who the teddy bear girl is. Oh my gosh, is this the teddy bear girl from The Walking Dead? Hold on, looking. Doesn't say. It just says Addie Miller as Teddy Bear Girl. I'm pretty sure that's from The Walking Dead, though, if I'm not mistaken. That's the only Teddy Bear Girl I can think of that that looked like that. So I'm guessing that's who it is. So that's pretty cool. So this is just a picture of the girl. I'm pretty sure that's from The Walking Dead. I'm sure it'll say on the card that's in here that'll clarify things, but pretty sure that's what it's from. But that's really cool. I always like that they put signatures in there. The signatures they put in there are never from like crazy famous people or anything like that, but they're always from recognizable people. So that's really cool, and it has her picture in there. And I always think that's fun to have people's autographs. That's like the next best thing to actually meeting those people. So I think that's always an interesting item that the Nerd Block Company does that you just really don't see that often in monthly boxes, or pretty much ever for that fact. I think the Nerd Block Company is one of the only ones that have done that. I think Comic Con Box does it with the artists, but not with actors. So a little bit different, but it's still really cool. I think that's interesting that they do that. I think that's very welcome in my opinion. Alright, next we got a Rue Morgue magazine. So I'm guessing this is a horror magazine. I have never heard of it before. But yeah, just looks like a horror style magazine with a bunch of articles in there. So cool, I'll check it out. I'll give it a read, seems interesting. Sure, why not? And I think that was the last item in there. Let me just double check. And yeah, the rest is just the stuff on the cards. So, oh, I was right, yeah. Addie Miller from The Walking Dead. I was right on that. So, yeah, cool. So that was all the items in the box. So far seems like a pretty cool box. So let's take a short break, and then I'll go back through these items, and then we'll give it a value and give this box an overall rating. So I'll see you soon. Alright, we're back. So let's talk about value and give this box a rating. First, the shirt. So this just isn't any shirt. I read up on it, and this is actually artwork from Lee Howard, an artist we've seen before from the Nerd Block Company. And I think he also had some artwork in Comic Con Box, if I'm not mistaken. But Lee Howard is a very famous artist, so this is actually his artwork, which actually makes his shirt a lot nicer. So I'm going to bump the rating up to a 7.5 out of 10, because I think that's really cool. I like Lee Howard, and that's a cool shirt. But either way, it'll get the standard $12 to $15 for the shirt value. Then, our bobblehead. Something else I learned that I didn't recognize right away because I didn't look at it very well, but this is actually David Hasselhoff because he appeared in one of the movies. So the bobblehead is of David Hasselhoff, which I think is really cool because I just think he's a funny guy. He's just such a shit show all the time, so it makes sense that he would be in a movie like this because he's just a ridiculous kind of guy. So that's really cool. Not only is it from a really cool movie, but it's from a cool guy, David Hasselhoff. So, and it is exclusive. It is exclusive to Horror Block, so that's really cool as well. So, but the value on this one is only about $15. That's what it's selling for online, which is kind of surprising. I thought this would be a lot more popular than it's showing online. And this has nice size to it, and it's good quality. So, if this were in a store, I could easily see this fetching $20 or $30 just based on the quality and who it is, since it's a well-known person. But you can find it online for around $15, so I'm only going to give it a $15 value. But it is a really nice figure, though. I really do like it. I think that's a good choice. Then, our Little Springs figure. So, the quality on this is decent. This is from, the character is Mystic Seer from the Twilight Zone, so somewhat well-known, but I guess it's some kind of a popular character, because this is actually selling online, much more than the other Springs characters did. And this sells for around $12 online, like give or take a few bucks, but selling for a lot more than I thought it would, though. So, $12 value on that. Then, our Rue Morgue magazine. And basically, this is just a horror magazine, just all things horror, up-to-date horror stuff, so seems like a good read, but it has the price on there. It says $10 in the magazine, and for books and magazines, I'm always going to give it the value that's printed on there. Again, I'm sure you could find someone selling this online that's already read it for like $1 or something like that, but I'll give it the value that's printed on there, which is $10. Then, our little towel. So this just is a towel. There's nothing really special about it. It's soft, but it's just a towel with some blood-stained design on it. And value on this, like, I don't know, $3 or $4. Like, there's really nothing super special about it. It's a nice towel, but it basically just is a white towel with some print on it. It didn't come in a package or anything. So a towel of that size at like Target or something would be like $3 or $4. So that's the value I'm going to give it on that. Then our signature. So I was right, and it is from The Walking Dead, Addie Miller. So it's the little girl from the first season. It's when Rick comes out of his coma. It's like the first zombie he sees. So it's like the first real zombie you see in the Walking Dead show, and it's this little girl holding a teddy bear at, I think it was at like the gas station or something like that. So it's like one of the most well-known zombies from the show, and that's cool that we got her signature in there. Now, signatures are always hard to value because, you know, most of the time signatures are free. If it's someone super famous, then like someone really well known from like Star Wars or Star Trek or something like that, then famous actors do charge for signatures. But someone like this that's like known but not well known, you probably get their signature for free. So it's hard to put values on this, but in general, for someone of this stature, signatures like this would probably go for around like $10. This is somewhat of a popular character, so it might be selling for a little more than that online. But I'm going to give general amount of just about $10. So, but that's really general. That's not specific at all because signatures are pretty much worth what people are willing to pay for it. So it's always kind of hard to put a value on that. So it could go for a lot more online, but I'm sure I looked online, you could find some cheaper than 10, some were selling for more than 10, so it just kind of depends on how much you want that signature. But in general, I'm just going to put a value right in the middle of like $10 just to give it a number. But again, that's not specific at all. That's a very general $10 number. So that was all the items in the box, so that brings our value on the low end of 62, on the high end of 66. So you got double your value even on the low end, which is pretty fantastic. The Nerd Block Company on a $30 box usually always gives about $50 value. This one was a little higher than normal, and the values I gave are pretty, most of the part spot on, except with the exception of the signature. But yeah, that's tremendous value. If you can get double your value, I think that's totally worth it. That's what everyone's shooting for. I think that's the ideal goal. And you got a good mix of stuff. You got a lot of exclusive stuff. The figure was really cool. You got a signature which is out of the ordinary. The rest of the stuff was good. You know, not spectacular, but it was pretty good. So I thought this is a really great box. And I didn't think I was going to love Horror Block too much, but you know, so far I've liked both the ones I've got. So as long as it keeps pleasing me, I'm going to keep it around. And the Nerd Block Company always seems to do a pretty good job. So I'm happy to keep this one around. So I'm going to give this one a 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys thought. I may bump that up a little bit because I personally liked it. The reason I gave it 7.5 is because a lot of the things in the box weren't selling for as high as I thought they would. Like the Sharknado bobblehead, I thought they would be more popular considering it is exclusive, and it is a really nice sculpture, and it's big. You usually don't get things this big in a box, but this is really good in size and things like that. And you got other exclusive stuff, so I thought it was overall pretty good, but just not a high resale market. So that's why I didn't get a little higher on the score, but that's mostly it. But again, let me know what you guys thought, and maybe I'll bump the score up if you guys loved it a whole lot. So let me know what you guys thought. This has been Horror Block, 7.5 on the shirt, 7.5 on the box as well. Again, let me know what you guys thought. Talk to you guys in the comments. See you on the next video. Love you all. Peace.